Alright. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic, less known classics. This is episode number 1952 and Doubleshot number 1846. Now, we're discussing issues from two completely different series. Now, this basically was kind of collecting two different trades, mind you. We were basically discussing Wonder Woman, Volume 3, Issues 6 to 13. Now, the two trades these were originally from was Love and War, and tie-ins to a crossover that, from what I've heard, the reception for this crossover is considered one of the most hated crossovers in the last 20 years. Now, the previous writer of this book was Alan Horn. From issues 6 to 11 is Jody Pulik. Okay. Plus, you gotta love the cover right here. Now, the way that Jody apparently wrote this book, and I do agree with the criticism of these issues, that Wonder Woman was basically written like she just got off the boat. She apparently did not know how to use the damn credit card. Now, this actually is something that, well, you could say this writer was kind of responsible for this. That was basically a recurring plot throughout the rest of this whole run prior to 600, and that's basically, well, Wonder Woman first gone by Diana Prince, first time since the 1970s. Her team with Nemesis, that's different. And also, well, they also tease a romance between the two of them that, of course, gets explored during Gail Simone's run. And she joins the Department of Metahuman Affairs. That's mostly basically what she joins. And her boss is Sarge Steele. He is pretty much the leader of the organization up until around issue 30. And he gets replaced by Steve Trevor. Now, like, one point, basically, apparently, Nemesis basically wanted, well, Diana to basically pay for the gas, and he'll pump, and he basically, apparently, she didn't know what she was doing, so he's like, you pump, I'll pay. And then she says, pump? Yeah, seriously, she apparently has no idea how to pump a car. Yeah, like pump gas in the car. Though, how she's written here is not very good when it comes to Wonder Woman. Because I have read a lot of Wonder comics, and the way she's written here is not that good. Now, do I have a problem with her joining the Department of Human Affairs? No, not necessarily. That's not the issue here. It's just basically how she's written when she's in civilian form. That's basically the issue. Where she's like too uptight. Apparently she doesn't know how to do a damn thing. Now, the sad thing about these issues is they're kind of basically setting up the events of what crossover you might ask it. I'm talking about is Amazon's Attack. Yes. From what I've read, it was a crossover that everybody hated who read it. Yes. To the point where when the final issue of this miniseries came out, apparently this issue was so hated by fans, they mailed this issue back to DC Comics and asked for a refund. That's how bad it was. And to date, it's the only comic I've ever heard of they actually did that for when it comes to finale for DC crossovers, because DC crossovers did get a heck of a lot better even before after this particular crossover. Though the crossover itself inadvertently helps set up the events of Countdown. Yes. Oh, excuse me, it's Love Murder. But, yeah, one of them take on Cersei in this story. Over Nemesis. But, yeah, the story itself does wrap up issue 10, but issue 11, it is a standalone issue. Now, basically, issues 11 to 13 are not written by Jody Pulik. Nope, for these three issues only, these issues are written by Jay Torres. Who the heck is Jay Torres? I have no idea. The first issue is basically taking place during the events of Amazon's Attack, where Wonder Woman was basically talking with her mother, and apparently the artist forgot to give her frickin' lasso of truth. Paco Diaz. Yes. And, like, wow. It's like this writer apparently was getting the cliff notes of how really bad Amazon's Attack was. Where apparently, like, women are basically degraded, like, written to be so terrible people. Like, Superman had to save Wonder Woman for no reason. And I read Amazon's Attack. It is pretty bad. Though it basically did sort of mean Linkara used occasionally over the years. A deadly bee weapon. Bees. My God. Yes, seriously. Of course, this book is called Hubris. It's basically one woman having been told by men to do what to do what deals with, well, her own mother. After basically talking about Athena, here's Athena, the goddess of wisdom. And, okay. Now, I get the fact it's a woman. Very beautiful. I like the way she's drawn here, but wow, it's like, okay. Yeah. By the way, Athena is Wonder Woman's patron god. Yes. That's how she's normally been depicted. Now, here's the strange thing. Do you know how many issues of this book that actually... Now, here's the strange thing. Wonder Woman was barely in Amazon's Attack. Yes, Linkara basically did a page count for the entire 6-issue miniseries. She only appeared in all 6 issues. She only appeared in 10 pages of the entire story. It's focused on her. And 12 was like the aftermath of this really bad crossover, where apparently like Surge disappeared, and it was so disjointed. Yeah, it was not very good. Yeah, when we're doing the aftermath of Amazon's Attack, where they try to build the reputation of Themyscira, and of course Sartio gets rescued. It's okay. The finale. As for the final issue done by this writer, issue 13, it seems as though 13 is like a step in the right direction. It's called Mothers and Daughters. Yeah, Wonder Woman just killing a creature. Sarge Steel basically just acting like, well, I would say the characterization of how Wonder Woman was written in this issue was written a lot better than she was in previous issues. Where still there was the aftermath of the events of Amazon's Attack. But yeah, Emma's hating the Amazons mainly because they attack Washington, D.C. Yeah, that's basically this is just reopening of stuff was destroyed. Yeah, it's okay. But that's the end of 2 writers' runs in the book. Yes, what ranking do I give these 8 issues of Wonder Woman? I give them, sadly, a 7.5. Well, it's not because of the reputation of these issues. Oh no, that's not the reason why. The best thing about these issues is that they have really good artwork. Yeah, I love the artwork for these issues. The problem is basically with these issues is how Wonder Woman herself was written. That's the major issue that I do agree that's the biggest problem with these issues. And once Gail also will take with the book became a heck of a lot better under her writing hand. She took over issue 14, and then she left at issue 600. It's been booked for a few years. Then we have that Odyssey reboot stuff. Next up we have from Green Arrow Volume 3. The main reason why I'm reviewing these issues because I'm getting the final trade in soon. I'm probably going to review the next 11 issues probably in their Comic Corner. Yep. And by the way, that is actually one trade. Now, we're discussing issues 32-39 of Green Arrow. Fun fact, 33 is not collected in the trade these issues are from. Nope. Because Joe Wing didn't write it. Yep. Now, 32 is basically, well, an issue that focuses on, looks like, well, Mia's boyfriend. The best thing about these issues, the first issue here, just a quick standalone issue. It just basically has Roy and Oliver hang out, go to a nightclub, have a lot of fun, be at some bad guys. It's okay issue. I'm actually really interesting. Now, 33, this is quite something. This is, if you find the trade, the name of the trade that this is collected in is called City Walls. That's the name of the trade that collects these issues. 33 is not in this trade. And you might be thinking, why the heck is this issue not in trade? Because it's not written by Judd Winnick. Anybody thinking, is that the only reason why? Yes, seriously, that's the only theory I have. Yeah, this is basically an issue that features the frickin' Arrow car. Yes, another comic that features this run features something that was silly when it comes to Green Arrow. So you have Roy driving the car around. Yes, Roy Harper, and of course they take down what looks like to be like looks like a Cobra Cult, and Roy Harper basically is like, get the car. It's like, nope. Yeah. You free blow it up with all those guns and bombs, Mr. Liberal. Yeah. Somehow Mia finds an Arrow car online. And of course you have Star. Like, it feels like a bit of a fun issue. You have the scavenger guy. It feels like a pretty fun issue. And apparently the car was bought by Batman. Of course, if they're driving for a while, being beat up by a scavenger, the car blows up, and of course, they don't really mention it again. Of course, we have Oliver supposedly reuniting with, well, Roy. 34 to 39. This is basically the City Wall storyline. It's a really good storyline here, where basically, like, now the biggest thing about this storyline, there's a few things. Number one, if he sees Black Canary again, first time since the events of the previous story arc of Joe Nick's run, where he ends up basically just happy to see her. They have sex, and she's like, "Are you hiding something?" He's like, "No, we're not hiding something." And then he admits to Mia why he's hiding. He cheated on Dinah. Yep, he admits to her. He doesn't know Dinah, but I'm sure that if she found out, she probably would basically beat the living crap out of him for cheating on her again. Because basically the way, now if you read the Kevin Smith issues, is that despite the fact he had cheated on her in the past, he basically gave that up. And in the issue itself, if I remember, him sleeping with Black Lightning's niece, he admits that was a mistake on his part. He said that should never have happened, and he admits that was a mistake. So after they basically do it, then Garcia admits to Mia while she's training. The neat thing about these issues actually is the start of Mia's career as Speedy. This is basically planting the seeds for it. Though toward the end of the storyline, she actually does get masked, but that's not called Speedy, not just yet per se. So this is quite hilarious, where they find like there's a bomb going on, like bomb about to be planted in the city. And he's like, hold it. This looks like open. Riddle me this. When the picture is impossible to see, what is then taken? Is that a riddle? Crap. Looks like we're dealing with the Riddler. Crap. This is gonna be annoying. Crap. Yes, the freaking Riddler is appearing in Green Arrow in this storyline, which I believe this is the only time you ever fought Green Arrow. And apparently Riddler's got his hands on an atomic bomb. So Oliver tries to go to, well, as Green Arrow goes to the mayor. As the Beckway starts, he's like, no, I don't believe you. So they deal with that. And of course, I deal with Riddler. We deal with a bunch of demons to show up. Yes, freaking demons. And then eventually Mia becomes, well, new Speedy. Well, started anyways. Like, okay, instead of help. Eventually she's been training. But it seems as though basically the story is like, yeah, let's put basically Mia in the cast after having in the book since like pretty much the start of the run. This whole run per se. Since Kevin Smith came in the book, that's when he created Mia. But the City of Walls story is really good. It is roughly only about 6 issues, but it's really good. And, well, yeah, they do defeat the creatures. The very end, Riddler is stopped, and of course, Atomic Bomb is prevented from going off. Yeah, it's a really good epic. It feels like a good, like, a story arc that could be, like, it basically had some higher ups like, hey, let's make this into a comic-wide crossover. But let's just keep it in Green Arrow. Just have Green Arrow's family deal with, just have the Green Arrow family deal with it. Instead of, I don't know, like, maybe like the Batman family, but this isn't Star City. Yep, but this is an excellent story arc. And I love the City Wall stuff. Now, I give this story arc roughly a 9.5 out of 10. But 32 and 33, they're 2 standalone issues. I give those 9. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it for particular review. Tomorrow is basically going to be, more girlfriend. I'm also going to do reviews tomorrow for Parallel Pharmacy and hopefully Baruch, just to get a chance to do it tonight, sadly enough. So, see you tomorrow on this stuff. Okay, bye.